Sam D, C squared, yeah, hair on that because of the Sam D, C squared, yeah. Y'all should be happy that we finally here, people. Are you ready, people? Yeah, since the age of 5, 12 in the store and pants size. I couldn't wait till the whole world recognized. But first I had to pay some dues, the journey I took. Y'all couldn't walk in my shoes, a young buck, wild and tough from Tallahassee. Straight from South City in my pursuit to be happy. Came up out the hood with my hair on nappy, cut it all off. Nothing named after my pappy, the streets tried to trap me. But I had to escape from my destiny and wait for me to be great. And I knew it, so was square, had to show improvement. When I do it, flow was stupid. Now you loving me like you been, and I know that you wasn't ready for this. I'm so on point with my target from the shoot. I won't miss since the past, present, and the future. C squared, the household name, something to get used to. I'm here, yeah.
Welcome to the feature, man. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Cliff Jackson III, or officially known out there as CJ3. I am he, man. Welcome to the feature with your boy. This is where we become and get intimate and become exclusive with our topics, with our guests. This is the show where everybody wants to be. Welcome to the feature. If you're tuning into this thing live or you're checking this thing out by the replay, you do not want to miss tonight's show. Tonight, I am talking to one of the only awesomest young black HBCU head coaches in the game right now. Head coach of Florida A&M University, head football coach of the Rattlers, my man, Willie Simmons. And we're going to be talking to him real soon, so y'all stay right there. I hope all my Rattlers are tuned in now. Forgive me for the delay, man. Listen, of all nights, the computer wanted to do an update. Come on, man. Satan trying to be busy on the night. He already know for to talk to my man Willie Simmons. We ain't got time to play. I hope Ray waiting on the phone, man. I apologize, bro, if you waiting on me. I'm coming. Give your boy some time. Let me go ahead and break these people in just a little bit on what it is that we do on this show. Hello to all my features out there. I'm so sorry, y'all. Him for y'all now. And we here to make this thing here possible, make this thing here right for y'all. So I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Hello for all those watching this thing on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Man, welcome to the feature. And for those watching this thing for the very first time, you never been to the feature, never heard of it, never watched it before. This is your very first time you heard about me or by way of mouth or timelines or whatever, man. I appreciate y'all. This is where we become intimate and get exclusive with our intimate guests and our close final guest that's here, our featured guest on our Feature Fridays, because it is Feature Fridays today. Yes, it is. And we in full effect tonight. We finna have a good time tonight. Rattler Nation, stand up. I got y'all main man, your head coach right here on the show tonight. And I can't wait to get this conversation off and running, man. But before we do, man, let's get into it. You know how we do. You want to be on the show, hit me up on email at thefeature.cj3@gmail.com, or if you want to contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or on Twitter, hit me up at The Featured with CJ3. Go download and subscribe all of your podcasts, because we can download us on your podcast. Check me out every night, Monday through Friday. I'm here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Hit me up. Go subscribe now to The Feature with CJ3 on YouTube and on Twitch. Please go download and watch the replays of our past Featured Fridays guests. There's a nugget of knowledge in each conversation. Yeah, man. We about to get into it with my guy, Willie Simmons. Everybody hold tight. About to give Willie a holler on the phone right now. About to call my dad right now. See what he got going on. See if he'll holler at us. I hope it ain't his bedtime. He been coaching all day. So we're gonna see what he got going on. Hopefully, everything be good. Hopefully, coach is in a good situation. Hello? Hello? Coach. I thought we had coach. Do we have you? Coach. Let me hit him back. I don't know what may have happened right there, but we'll try again. We got to make sure that coach know we call him. He probably went to bed on.
Hello.
Coach.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Coach. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Doing well. How's it going?
Man, it's going good, man. How's everything going tonight?
Everything's going well. Just finished up a little dinner with the family. Watched some. They watched the movie. I was watching a little football, but the TV got hijacked by the
It's over, dog. You already know, dog.
Oh, yeah.
You already know it's already over. Coach, hey, man, I appreciate you joining the show, man. Thank you for coming to the show to feature, man. I've been trying to get you on this thing, and I appreciate you finally deciding to come on, man, and just chop it up with me, bro. I know you're a very busy man, and, just knowing you personally, man, first off, I appreciate you, man, just giving me the opportunity to interview you, chop it up with you, and having you come on the show, man, where we can show some love to you, dog, and continue to just keep highlighting your great work, what you're doing, man, at FAM.
Well, hey, man, the pleasure's all mine. We go way back.
Yes, indeed, man. You already know, Doc. So this is just a big three-way phone call with me, you, and my listeners out there. So, we just gonna go ahead and get right into the thing, man. Let's make it happen.
I like it.
Let's do it, bro. Now, a lot of people know you. A lot of people don't know you. But for all my rattlers out there, stand up, give my boy some love, some likes tonight. I'm talking to y'all head man of the football team. Y'all rattlers captain, head coach Willie Simmons. Coach, where you from originally, man? People want to know.
Well, I'm from a little small town just west of Tallahassee, Quincy, Florida. Gadsden County native. Gadsden County claim to fame is the only county in the state of Florida out of 6 or 7 counties that's predominantly African Americans.
Right.
So we're very proud of that distinction. We grew up in Gadsden County, went to elementary school, middle school, and high school there at Stewart Street Elementary. Carter Pepper Middle School, and then at that time, James A. Shanks High School, which obviously is the middle school now, since they built Gadsden County High School. But grew up there my entire life and was there for 18 years until, the good Lord saw fit to invest in the college scholarship to Clemson, South Carolina.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, Shanks, man, we got to get into that. But before we get into Shanks, talk about the family makeup, man. Like, what was mom, dad, what did they do, sisters, brothers, all that good stuff?
Well, my mom and dad, they've been married for a while. I want to say I was a mistake. My 11 months apart.
Wow.
Born in the early 70s, and then 8 years later, here comes a little baby boy. So
right.
I'm not sure if that was planned or it's one of those oops nights. The youngest of 3, my 2 older sisters, Malika and Katina.
Right.
They're both still here in Gadsden County. My sister Katina's married Leon Russ, and they're a great family, and two nephews. My sister Katina and two younger boys, and just being a great family there, and then come from a large family on both sides. My mom was the oldest of 9 kids to her mom and dad, and my dad was the youngest boy of 9. Matter of fact, 10.
Wow.
And his boy of 10, and so came from a large family on both sides. Unfortunately, my dad passed away when I was 6 years old.
My condolences.
Just a freak accident. He was an auto mechanic, and just had one of those days freak accident at the shop, and
right.
He succumbed to his injuries from that.
Right.
I did have a lot of coaches and mentors and influential men who kind of took me under their wing, pastors. And so I didn't go without
Right.
That strong male figure in my life. So my mom never remarried, and she just raised me and my two older sisters as best she could. She raised me all the way through high school. But my senior year, she was diagnosed with chronic kidney failure, and so she immediately went on dialysis and fought that fight until 2005 when she passed away to actually a heart attack. But again, was blessed to have two loving parents, and my dad, even though he didn't really get to see me flourish as a student and as an athlete, I know he's been smiling down on me for a long time because he was very proud of me during the little bit of time he was with me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm obviously my mom was my biggest cheerleader, so
very,
very, very supportive family even to this day. That was one of the highlights of coming back to FAMU, coming back to Tallahassee to FAMU, was being able to be around my family again and have them come and watch me play and just hang out with them. My grandmother's my only living grandmother left, and she gets to see me coach. And she sent five of my aunts and uncles and my mom here to FAMU. So just to be able to see me coach here, my godmother is a diehard Rattler. Her son, everybody played here for Coach Ken Riley.
That is.
Just to see, to see all the people who grew up and went to FAMU and FAMU made them who they are today. To be able to say that their nephew or godson or a neighbor or friend or whatever the case may be is the head coach at FAM. It's just a proud moment for everybody in Gadsden County. So it's one of those things that made the job worthwhile, and we continue to work hard to make sure we continue to make everybody proud.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. Now, you speak of high school, and now it's the middle school now, but James A. Shanks High School, man. Tell us about this experience at Shanks, man. Just the high school itself, bro. Like, just give us the background about Shanks, because a lot of people don't know about the legendary things that have came out of James Shanks High School.
Well, again, when you grow up in a county or in the city of Quincy,
right?
There's so many talented people that have come out of that small county, and there's a long line of people before I was even thought of. Doctors, attorneys,
right?
Educators, athletes, you name it.
Right.
We produce some of the best and brightest. Dr. LaSalle LaFall, Dr. Furlow,
right?
Dexter Jackson, obviously Super Bowl MVP,
right?
Billy Ray Hobley, played with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, Globetrotters, yeah.
Again, the list goes on and on. And so I grew up really just knowing that, if I just worked hard, if I did the right things, kept my nose clean, that I'd have a chance to be successful. And I was blessed to have a supportive family that were strong on values. We stayed in the church, obviously. Still go to the same family church, St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church down in the Shiloh community. My great grandfather was one of the pioneers of that church, back when he was alive, and my family goes there to this day. And so just growing up in the church, knowing about the principles and values, I knew that coming into high school that, we had a chance to do something. I was a three-sport athlete, played football, basketball, and baseball, all the way through elementary school, middle school, and by the time I got to high school, people, my name started kind of circulating around the area of being a guy that was very talented. Picked up the football, I was a quarterback. Was pretty savvy on the basketball court as a point guard, and could hit a baseball fairly well. And so coming into Shanks, Dexter was just leaving.
Right.
So just taking Shanks to the long first playoff run in some years. And so he had really kind of put Shanks back on the map. Shanks was a powerhouse kind of back in the day.
Right.
It kind of fallen on some tough times, and then he kind of brought life back. And so I wanted to carry that on. And we had a great nucleus of guys that were part of that 1999 class. That was a special group. And we had 8 guys find college scholarships my senior year to Division I programs.
Yeah, man, because you made your own legacy happen out there at Shanks, dog. I mean, you was All-American quarterback. You was ranked number 10 in the country, like overall, bro, as a quarterback. Like that's major, but right there in Quincy, Florida. You was all Big Ben Player of the Year that year. Because I was on the other side at Ricketts. And that was definitely by far one of the best battles, bro, we ever had. Oh man. That game was a show enough classic. Like for those folks who don't know about the classic rivalry between Rikers High School, the Redskins versus the Shakes Tigers. Listen, man, it's a sellout game, whether it's at Gene Cox or at Corey Field, it didn't matter. That thing sold out. Did it not? Well. Oh, yeah. It definitely, and it's amazing atmosphere. Whether okay. Football or basketball. If it was basketball, you had to get it. Basketball and football, though, I'm telling you, that Shakes and football, man, them two teams, man, they go at it, man. It was already all in, man. But, man, you set some major records, man, and you had over like 25 scholarships, bro. Like, like you had over 25 offers. You could have went anywhere you wanted to, you know, from Florida State, Tech, Q's, Miami, but you chose Clemson. Yeah, I did, and I was blessed, man, to have an opportunity to pick for some very, very great schools. Yeah. And I wanted to stay relatively close to home, but I wanted to get far enough away that I can grow up. You know, I was a mama's boy. Yeah. Never really left Quincy other than a couple of school field trips and official visits. Right. On trails, but I wanted to kind of just get off on my own. And Clemson was 6 hours, right, roughly 7 hours away from home. Yeah. It was close enough to Atlanta. I had some family and friends in Atlanta, so I can get to a major city if need be, and my family can still come and see me play. And I wanted to be a part of a group that revitalized the program. Florida State was already at the top of the college football world during that time, coming off the national championship, and right. Clemson was a proud program that had fallen on some tough, kind of like Shanks, that fallen on some tough times. Right. And I really wanted to be the catalyst to catapult them back to the national prominence. And so, through the recruiting process, my classmates and I, we talked about that. Right. We wanted to be the group that came in and changed Clemson's fortune. And we had some good seasons. We didn't reach that pinnacle of where they are today. So we're very proud of the job that they've done there now. But we all feel like we kind of started the foundation way back in 1999, and right. They carried that since then. When I came in the year before I got there, they were 2-9. Right. Our first year we went 6-6, and they had a losing season since then. So right. We like to think that we kind of set the foundation. Catapult that whole organization, yeah. Yeah, had to build the blocks, and like so they take it to an entirely different level then. But Clemson was just a good school that kind of checked all the boxes that I wanted. Small town environment, great academic institution, love their football, and far enough away but close enough to where I could get home if I needed to. Yeah, exactly, man. And what's so amazing, bro, about because you set a trend, man, just from for cats going to Clemson out of Big Bend area, and then you also set a trend too, man, because you legendary beyond just playing on the football team at Clemson, but you the fastest Clemson football player in history to finish a college degree. Well, yeah, that record stood for a long time. Yeah. I think Deshaun tied. Yeah, Deshaun tied you. Yeah, I think Deshaun graduated in 3 years as well. Yeah. But no, man, again, my mother was an educator. She taught in the Gadsden County school system for 28 years. Yeah. Before she was forced to retire because of her illness. But, education was always going to be the number one thing. Even though I was a pretty good football player, a good baseball player, basketball, whatever it was. Right. She was going to make sure that education was first and foremost. And so, when I got to college, I was doing the road in high school. I was able to take college classes at Tallahassee Community College while I was in high school. Right. So by the time I graduated high school, I virtually almost had an AA degree. Wow. So I was going to Clemson as a sophomore, and had I not switched majors 3 times in a year. Again, it was a great experience, man. Yeah. I wasn't ready for the world, and but that's something that, again, I say I don't take pride in the football, the stuff that occurred from an athletic standpoint. Even now, I don't really take pride in the things that I do as a football coach. I take pride in watching my guys graduate, seeing them walk across the stage, and right. Achieve that lifelong goal that we all have, because some of those guys are first generation graduates.
kids, whether they're the next in the line or college graduates, much like my son Trey is. And so,
right.
Whatever the case may be, those are proudest moments for me, not the stuff that happens on the field,
right.
but what type of impact we have with these young men off the field, and what type of men that we ultimately help them become.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Talking to my man, Coach Willie Simmons, head football coach of FAMU Rattlers football program, man. Now, Coach, you played at Clemson, and you played under head coach Tommy Bowden, which is head coach Bowden at Florida State's young old son. Now, you was one of the main ones playing in them Bowden Bowls, man. So, you know, you kind of got in the middle of that a lot. So, being from home but then playing for his son. So tell me, just give a quick little breakdown on how some of those, big bout and bowl games went, man.
Man, there was so much build up around it.
Right.
The time in college football history that you have a father-son matchup.
Right.
And it was a conference game.
Right.
A game that had to take place every year. And for all intents and purposes, that game pretty much decided who was going to represent the ACC in some of those years.
Yeah.
And so my first year there in 1999, man, I still remember like it was yesterday. They came in and there was so many storylines behind the game. That was Peter Ward's first game back.
Yeah.
All the true Seminole fans remember that Peter was suspended for a few games.
Right.
And then that was the first game back. So I remember, we run down the hill before every game. And, a couple of teams are bold enough to stand at the bottom of the hill and kind of wave us on. And we remember getting off the bus
right.
and get to the top
I know.
And at the bottom of the hill, like waving us on, like, come on. At that point, we knew it was about to be a bloodbath. So it was a hard-fought game, man. And, at that time, I was a true freshman. And Willie Basso was the starting quarterback at the time.
Yeah.
And I was a backup, but I was also trying to preserve my red shirt because obviously back then there wasn't the 4-game rule like we have today, where you can play 4
games, right?
And your red shirt status. So you play one snap back then, it's over.
Right. You were done. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I remember Woody, getting rolled up or something happened, or he got injured, and it was that moment where I was warming up on the sideline, getting ready to go in as a true freshman against Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and that's the year they won the national championship. And so,
right.
I'm in my mind, it's like, well, I'm ready because in my mind, I always felt once I get in here, I'm not coming back out.
Right.
It's about to be my show as an 18-year-old. I was going to lead the charge, and but what I didn't want to go in, play a couple snaps, and Woody gets the kicks healthy, and then they take me out and I lose my red shirt. So
right.
they called a timeout to allow Woody to get his bearings back, and then he went in and finished the game, and I was able to preserve my red shirt. And we ended up losing by I think 1 point.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, missed the field goal at the end down there. It was on a 4th and 1. I think a lot of us wanted Coach to go for it, 4th and 1 on the plus side of the field, but he decided to kick the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was Bobby 300's win. It was like I said, it was so
many
things that were
going around that game, yeah.
Yeah, and so some of us were like, man, he's trying to get his dad that 300 win. So we joke about it to this day, but great matchups. Now I tell you what, great matchups. And they finally got us the home. We never beat them during my time there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the year I left in 2003 was the first time he was able to get over that hump and beat Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
But they beat them up. I think they beat them in Clemson, and then they went back and forth for about 4 or 5 years until Tommy, was forced out.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously now, Dabo's taking that program to a
whole nother level, man.
And they've kind of had Florida State's number over the last 5 years. So always a great rivalry. We knew every year that Florida State was the one team we had to get through. Mm-hmm. And now that's kind of flipped where everybody knows not Clemson's the team you got to go through. Yeah,
the times have definitely changed, brother. You see, the Tar Heels are even in the conversations with things now. So, yeah, so we're making some trends, man. Clemson definitely making some things happen, man. So after Clemson, and you finished graduating and everything, I remember you tried to get in the FAM, but that didn't work out. So you went on and went to the Citadel.
Mm-hmm. And we a lot of rappers were still kind of sour about how that whole ordeal went down.
Oh man, I know.
It was all set to come back. The FAM will come to the FAM, and be the quarterback here for Billy Joe,
Yeah.
I really wish we could have seen what would have happened had we been able to all play.
Right.
And, obviously, FAMU was making the transition from at that time 1AA to 1A.
Right.
Now it will be
FBS.
Yeah, but they were provisional, and so they were forced to abide by the FBS or 1A rules at the time. And so back then the rules said that if you transfer from a FBS to an FBS or 1A to 1A, you have to sit a year.
Right.
And so, and it was a year before I jokingly call it the Willie Simmons rule, because now if you graduate, you don't have to sit that year.
Right. You go ahead and play.
Well, they passed that rule in 2004.
Wow.
2003. And so even though I was a graduate, I only had 1 year left to play, so I wouldn't have been eligible to play at FAM that year. So
right.
Unfortunately, I had to leave in the middle of training camp and find somewhere to play my senior year. And fortunately for me, I was able to land at the Citadel, went there, and they had been a great program. They had some losing seasons when I got there, and we were able to get there and turn the program around and have the best season they had in 10 years.
Right.
I was first team all-conference quarterback, and made a lot of great friends. So everything happens for a reason. We had a great time to sit with us. Again, I really do sometimes just kind of kick back and wonder what if, what would have happened had all of us. We had 17 transfers that year, believe it or not.
Wow. Whew.
I think 13 of us were told we couldn't play.
Wow.
Just imagine a Division I FCS or 1AA program with 17 Division I transfers coming in at one time.
That's crazy.
How good that team could have been. So we played Miami that year. FAMU played Miami that year.
Right.
And we in our mind we were going down to Miami to upset them, to pull off, just like they did back in '79. We were
right.
going to do the same thing.
Right.
And but again, it didn't happen. And fate thought they ended up at the Citadel, but that's always a story that we talk about. From the old die-hard rappers that bring up.
Right. Ooh, but man, that's something to talk about. But what if that would have happened? Well, that would have been crazy right there, dog. You talk about some conversations here in Tallahassee around Rattler football. That definitely would have been one, man. That would have definitely been one. So after the Citadel, you do your thing now, make your thing happen. What made you want to get into coaching?
Well, it's funny that even though I was a quarterback my entire playing career, and I finished up my last year playing up in Sioux City, Iowa, playing arena football.
Right, because you did go play at Sioux City for a quick little second.
Yeah, I never thought about coaching. Like, it was just something that wasn't on my radar.
Right.
I was a business major, marketing major, and so in my mind, I was going to do something with business. I was going to be a sports agent, or or get into pharmaceuticals, or insurance sales, some type of sales.
Yeah.
That was, again, it's competitive, and I'm a competitor by
right.
nature. So that's what mine was. I was literally driving back to Tallahassee, Quincy from Sioux City, Iowa. Season had just ended. My mom had unfortunately just passed away that summer, and but I was driving back 22-hour drive, and without much direction about what I was going to do. I had a couple of interviews lined up with a pharmaceutical company and an insurance company, and one of my good buddies, Yusef Security, Yusef,
yeah,
called me out the blue and said, "Hey man, my quarterback coach just left," and this was August, so the season is virtually about to start. High school football is about to start,
right?
And I said, "Hey, we got a position open. We were scrambling trying to find a guy. I mentioned your name. Would you be interested?" And I said yes without even really thinking about whether it was something I really want to do. I was like,
right.
Yeah, because I knew I didn't have anything concrete to come back to. So I think, of course, I'll do it. I knew Lincoln was a proud program.
Right.
I knew all about it, how great they were. And, so took the opportunity, went there, and obviously B.J. Daniels was a sophomore quarterback at the time.
Right.
And so everybody was kind of hailing him as the next Gavin Dickey. With Lincoln had gone on a run there, some state championships.
Right.
And it was just a good program. So I went in, again, going in with the idea that I'm gonna do this until I figure out what's next. It's gonna buy time so I can figure out what's next. And I mean, about a week into it, man, I knew that this was what I was called to do.
Wow.
It was just one of those deals, man, that I had kind of the Damascus Road experience,
Right.
And worked down at the credit union for a while, and he was on that team. And so just the way I was able to bond with all those guys and just see the impact that I had on them really just made me understand that that was my calling to impact the lives of young men and help them realize their dreams. And so from that, man, it started the path of high school to college to now becoming the head coach. So great 15-year ride, man. I'm still on the front hopefully, with God's grace, I'm still on the front half of this thing.
And you know, it's so crazy to hear you say that you didn't even think about coaching shotgun. It's so crazy, right? Because you coached BJ, right? Sophomore year. And BJ goes on to do this amazing thing from South Florida to going on to the Seahawks, winning Super Bowls, spearheading other leagues like the AAF and the XFL, and now he back coaching at Lincoln. You know what I mean? So you really inflicted a lot of stuff into that. You applied that in them too, dog. That goes a long way. That says a lot, man, for real. So after you deal with Lincoln and BJ, you stayed there for about like what, year or two, what?
Yeah, one season.
One season, because I think you went to Middle Tennessee State after that. Oh, you went to Clemson back. You went back to Clemson.
Yeah, went to Clemson. So what weird, kind of weird story, man. I worked at Lincoln as kind of worked in the in-school suspension department.
Okay.
And so I would ride around and go get kids if they needed to be taken to in-school suspension or the principal office or whatever. But I also any high school, any college coach that came to the school to recruit, I would go to the front office and greet them and then take them down to meet the coach, right? The head football coach.
Right.
And so obviously Lincoln's a heavily recruited school, always has been.
Right.
And we had a linebacker there, Craig Stevens, who was getting a lot of attention in the ultimate side with Auburn. But Clemson was recruiting him. And so Tommy Bowden, my old coach, and Dabo Sweeney, who's
the head coach right now,
came down to Lincoln to visit with Coach Rice about Craig. And I went to the front office. Obviously, I didn't know because they just said coaches at the office, and so I'll go and meet the coach and take them down. So once I get to the office, I see it's Tommy and Dabo, and so of course we start talking, and Tommy made the comment. He was like, "I didn't even know you were coaching," and I said, "Well, yeah, I just started coaching, And so it's fate of habit. This was in January. Later that year, probably around March, I think, or May. Tony Elliott, who I played with at Clemson, who's offensive coordinator there now, got married. And so obviously, I was invited to the wedding.
Right.
Went there up in South Carolina, and then again saw Dabo, who coached them, and saw Burton Burns, who was the coach there then, and we just kind of chopped it up and just stayed in touch. And then about a month or so later, they had one of the grad assistants at the last minute leave to go take a job in the NFL. And so much like the job at Lincoln, it happened so late in the process, they really didn't have a chance to vet a whole bunch of candidates. Because, usually you'll interview a bunch of people,
right?
Put it out there on football school or whatever.
Right.
But they were like, well, we start practice next week. We need to get somebody in here now that understands this place, that kind of knows the lay of the land. And the Apple was like, well, what about Willie? And, everybody there, most of the coaches there at the time, they either coached me or knew about me. And they called me and asked if I'd be interested. And obviously, I got the opportunity to go back and be a grad assistant. So it was kind of the same thing. I went there and was a grad assistant there for 1 year. And then after that season, Rick Stockstill called me to offer me a full-time position on his staff at Middle Tennessee State. So in a 2-year period, I went from not coaching, finishing up arena football.
Right.
Coaching at Lincoln, being a grad assistant, then being a full-time Division I football coach at age 26. So
wow.
It all came full circle, man. It was a whirlwind, but definitely a great ride to be on, and it's really set me on a trajectory to do some really positive things in this profession.
Man, that's amazing, man. So you get to Middle Tennessee State and become the running back coach up there.
Yep.
Up there doing your thing with the running back coach and everything, man. And from there, bro, I mean, you pretty much explode to the pass game coordinator, the offensive coordinator, and you come at the age of 30. You was one of the youngest coordinators at the FBS level at that time, bro. And you had the 20th nationally ranked total offense with Middle Tennessee State, bro. That's insane. While y'all led the Sun Belt in total offense, rushing offense, third down conversion, and y'all ranked second in passing offense. That's like that's you written all over it, brother.
Well, I won't take credit for any of that, man. I mean, the rest of it is, I spent 5 years, 5.5 years at Middle Tennessee State, and
Yeah.
Rick Stockstill, who's still the head coach now, is a great coach. He recruited me out of high school. Stock was the one that signed me to Clemson,
Right.
and gave me my first opportunity to be a college football coach and a full-time college football coach, and I learned a lot from him. I learned about just really dealing with players and listening to players. A lot of coaches have that mindset where it's my way or the highway.
Right.
You do as I say, how does I do? And
right.
Stock's not like that. He wants to set a great example, wants to build relationships. And so I took that model from him and really just focused on building great relationships with my players when I was a position coach. And so when the opportunity came for me to work for him to name a coordinator, he looked and he saw a guy on his staff who kind of checked a lot of the boxes that he looked for. And, we had been really successful 2 years prior to that, running the air raid system. And I got well versed in the system. He wanted to keep that system in place, even though Tony Franklin, who is the coordinator there now, had left to take another job. He wanted to keep that same system.
Right.
So gave me an opportunity, and the players really bought in. Like that was one of the best things about it. The players bought in, the coaches bought in. We went out there, man, and we just went to work, and that's all I know. Growing up in Quincy, that's all I really know.
Right.
I don't really look around. I kind of just keep a tunnel vision on what I have to get done, on what needs to be done, and that's what we focused on. And so we were able to put some points on the board, and put up some prolific numbers during my time there. Even though it was a short tenure, we were still able to do some really good things. And like I said, it really prepared me for what came next. Which is taking over an Alcorn State team that had really struggled and really needed a spark. And we were able to go in there, man, and in a short time turn that program around. And again, you look at where they are now. Same thing. We were kind of the front end of that thing and set the foundation, and they have slowed down since.
Man, that is amazing. Because now when you went to Alcorn State, I mean, you changed the whole scope over there. Becoming on there, man, with those young men and doing what you do with those guys, man. I mean, y'all went from 2 games before the previous season and going 4-7 the next season, and then later on you're number 5 in Black college football polls, which was y'all highest rankings at that time, man. So, as an offensive coordinator, like, what did you learn, or what did you feel like you instilled in your players there, that get that kind of response to how you coach them and the way they played on the field?
Well, I think I grew a lot more than they did. When I came from Middle Tennessee State, we ran an air raid system, which was a wide, spread out offense, up tempo, spread, not many plays, and we were just going to try to be faster than the guys we played against. And I took that system to Alcorn that first year, and we didn't have the players to really flourish in that type of system, and so in that offseason going into year 2, I really, really studied, what I needed to do, looking at our personnel, looking at what we needed to do to be successful. And that was probably the first year that I really had to kind of do a self-evaluation of, okay, well, what are you going to be offensively? What's your philosophy offensively? I knew what the air raid philosophy was, and I had kind of adopted that principle and philosophy when I was a play caller. But now it's like, okay, well, we can't run air raid here. We don't have a quarterback who can throw the ball 40 times a game. We don't have dynamic wide receivers who can catch screens and make somebody miss and go to the house. We just don't have those type of guys. And, I don't know if we can go out and just recruit those guys. We're in Loma, Mississippi, so it's not like we're in a place where people are just flooding to come to. And so we took a bunch of converted quarterbacks, guys who had played quarterback there, because we had settled on the quarterback, John Gibbs, who was a great runner, wasn't a phenomenal passer, but was a really good runner, good leader. And we took the guys that were behind him, Jordan Payne, Brandon Vessels, Zay Rollins, and we moved those guys wide receivers. And so we said, we got length. We had 6'2", 6'3" guys at wide receivers. They weren't necessarily the fastest guys or the quickest guys, but they had great length. They had really good ball what they did, and incorporating the fullback or tight end or sniffer or whatever you want to call them. People call them, people call them different things, but incorporate that guy into the offense. And so we went from a 10 personnel sprint offense to more of a true 20 or 11 personnel team, but we were running counter and power and really just getting more of a downhill aggressive type of running game. And so those guys really bought into that, man. Arnold Walker went from a kid who had rushed for 300 yards the year before to being conference player of the year. He rushed for 1,200 yards, led the conference in touchdowns with 16, and became a one-man wrecking crew, because we just committed ourselves to running the football. And so that was probably I won't say the funnest year because I've had fun every year I've coached, but that year just being able, just having to change my philosophy, my mindset, what we're going to be, let's maximize the talent that we do have. That was fun, really creating an offense that catered to those guys' strengths. And I've tried to take that same philosophy everywhere I've been.
Man, that's amazing, man, because it really shows that it's like a science project, you really put in the research, get your hypotenuse, get your thesis, and you break it down, bro. It's like a real formula, and just to hear you say that, man, because I was gonna ask you about your philosophy, but you just kind of gave that, and just in that little whole breakdown, man. That's real talk, man. It really sounds like a science chemistry project that you be in the lab concocting and putting some things together, man. So after Alcorn State, you take it to Prairie View and you become the head coach. This your first head coaching gig. So what was it like being named the head coach at Prairie View A&M University, man?
Man, you're talking about a dream come true. Once I started coaching, it was always my dream to become a head coach.
Right.
And, so while I was at Alcorn, we had turned the program around. Like I said, went from 4-7 that first year to 9 the next year, and the year after that, we went the whole thing.
Right.
And around that time, my name kind of started to circulate a little bit about a guy who was ready or who was kind of next up to be a potential head coaching candidate.
Right.
And I knew there were some jobs that were going to come open that year. Alabama A&M, I think, came open that year. It wasn't all before Alabama State came open that year. Prairie View came open that year, and ironically,
FAMU
came open that year.
Right.
So, I applied for the FAMU job because obviously it's home for me. I said, well,
right.
I want to be a head coach, and FAMU's always been a dream job of mine. And went through the process, and we had played Prairie View that year, and we lit them up, man. We scored 77 points.
Right.
Against them, and so the AD was so impressed. It was one of the weird deals where the AD was his mentor was our current AD, Derek Horn, who honestly was AD at FAMU for a little bit, a period of time. And so Derek Horn was our athletics director at Alcorn at the time. So Ashley Robinson, the AD of Prairie View, was a mentee of Derek Horn. He was also a mentee of our president at the time, Dr. Rankin. And so he reached out to those two gentlemen and kind of asked them about me, and they gave me a rave review. So he came, while Bam was still kind of deciding which direction they wanted to go into. He came and was like, "Hey man, this is your job." And so my wife and I talked about it. We wanted to hold out. We wanted to say, well, we'll wait to see what Bam's going to do, but we just said, look, man, there's a good little open door that he wants you to go into, and we walked into that thing, man. And you know what? It's a blessing because I don't think I was ready for FAMU at the time, and I also don't think FAMU was ready for me at the time.
Right.
And so they worked out for me to go and get the experience that I needed as a head football coach. Prairie View was a great experience. I headed a football team that had a lot of talent. They hadn't necessarily performed as well on the football field. Hadn't had a winning season in 7 years before I got there. And we went in and kind of goes back to coaching philosophy. I kept one coach on the staff from the previous staff, and I kept KJ Black, who's my current offensive coordinator. I kept him. He was a grad assistant. I bumped him up to quarterback coach. And so when I got there, we're asking about the team. We kind of known a lot of the players who we played against them, and I was just amazed at how many times we were told that guys couldn't do something. He can't run, or he's not very tough, or he can't catch it. And I just said, guys, at the end of the day, they can't do it if we say they can.
Right.
And we gotta make them believe that they're good. That's our job as coaches, is said, well, I don't think that's how it works. Like, tough guys hang with tough guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I said, well, have you ever put them against each other in some type of competition, some type of competitive drill to see if Brandon would turn it down? I promise you he wouldn't. Because you know you're going to scrap with your brother.
Right.
Harder than you're going to scrap with anybody. You don't want to lose to him.
Absolutely.
I mean, Brandon, man, went from a kid who everybody had written off to our defensive MVP that year. You know, just because we went in and we said we believe in you. You know, we know you can do it, and now you have to know you can do it, and here's a way to get it done. And so we took that mindset with the entire football team, and a team that had won, had a winning season. It's been a great experience, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be the leader of this program, and just excited to see where we can continue to take it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, because we definitely got to get into that, man. That part. So you become the head man, the 18th head coach of Florida A&M University. And bro, I ain't gonna leave it alone. When I heard that this was about to happen, my whole body got chills. I was like, he's coming home. He's coming home. They are not ready for this. He's coming home. And bro, like it's been like the real new how they introduced you, the millennium. Like this, it has literally been Will Simmons mayhem. Like it's been like you all day here at FAMU, and just to be the head man of this program, man. Like, first off, what is it like just to coach your hometown team? Like, we used to, you know, play football over there in the little area where it was grassy at before. Not even really watching the game. But now here you are coaching the game, bro. You know what I mean? So, like, what's that like for you, man? Like, how's that really ever sat in with you?
Yeah, to be honest, man, I'm glad you follow with that, because it really hasn't. You know, maybe one of these days, man, when I'm retired, or before I take my last breath, I really just kind of reflect and say, man, I was the head coach at FAMU.
Right.
Because my mindset, I've never done this for personal gain. I've never done it for the accolades.
Right.
For the favors or whatever the case may be. I do it because, one, I think this is my calling. I know this is my calling.
Right.
I have a genuine love for developing young men, and three, it's home.
Right.
So for me, once I took the job, it's my job to get FAMU back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to think about what this means for me or my career or my wife.
Right.
Two-time graduate. My family. I never had time to think about all those things, because my mindset from day one, ever since December 16th of that year, 12th of that year, has been how do I get FAMU back to national prominence?
Right.
Make Rattler Nation, proud again to call FAMU football their team.
Right.
And that's what my mindset has been. And so I don't really, it still is surreal when I go into a restaurant, the Corey's, the new soul food restaurant on the south side of town. When I walk in there and see my picture up, on the wall.
Yeah.
Or when I walk through a grocery store, my daughter, she's like, Dad, do you know everybody? Or even today, being in the facility, and one of the custodial workers, I had my mask on, and so he didn't really, I guess, didn't know who I was. And then I took it down for a second to drink some water. He was like, "Oh, you're the coach." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, you're from Quincy, huh?" And so he started talking about his dad from Quincy, and
right.
just how having a hometown boy, it means the world to him, because of some of the other coaches didn't really understand FAMU and didn't really appreciate it.
Right.
Everyone knows how much I love FAMU. So it's just been, man, it's been a surreal experience. Not many times, and coaching definitely do we get to coach at being one of those quote unquote dream jobs.
Right.
And FAMU has always been that, and when the opportunity came, again, it didn't take me very long to say yes.
Right.
Want to make sure that things were lined up the way they needed to be, that we had the support from the administration, from the fan base and the alumni, and we have that now. And we're all digging our heels in, man, and going to work. And I think the fruits of our labor are showing. With the new locker room renovations, with the new weight room renovations, with the stadium, about to get a whole new facelift.
Yeah.
With our new apparel deal on the horizon, with the top 10 national recruiting class we just put together. There's a lot of things that are coming together for FAMU, but it's not just because of Willie Simmons. It's because everybody has committed to being all in.
Right.
Like our AD campaign says, and that's what it takes. It takes more than just a good football coach to have a championship caliber program. It takes everybody.
Right.
Because it's a program. Everybody has to be involved to get their hands dirty and working. Rather get your hands dirty working. And if we all do that and stay committed to it, I truly believe, man. Like I tell my team, I'm tired of FAMU being referred to as a sleeping giant.
Right.
Time to recognize who we are.
Exactly.
Not a sleeping one, but one that's woke and one that's raising bringing terror down on college football, much like the North Dakota State has been over the last 7 or 8 years. I truly believe FAMU can be that type of program.
Absolutely. Y'all hear right here from your head man, Rattler Nation, my man, head coach Willie Simmons, talking to y'all right here live on the feature. Man, so, Reverend, let me ask you this. Out of all the stuff you got going on with the coaches, coaching at, fam and everything, man, but when you think of all the legendary coaches from the Rudy Hubbards and Jake Gaithers and the Billy Joes of the world, Ken Riley's, and how they left their mark at FAMU, how do you measure yourself against their legacies? How do you want to be viewed as, as a coach there?
Well, one, I don't measure myself against those guys. I can't. It's impossible to try to compare yourself to a Jay Gaither.
Yeah.
Or Billy or Rudy Hubbard. It really is humbling every morning, man. I pull up to the office and I look at that. There's a board on top of our building that lists all of our conference championships and national championships, and then the 220 quarterback club redid it. It was always there, but the 220 quarterback club redid it last year after our season, and they added a column that had the coaches, who won national championships, and obviously William Bell on there, Jake Gaither,
right,
Rudy Hubbard, the Billy Joe, and then my name's on there now because of our national championship last year. So
right.
to see my name listed with those guys, man, I'm telling you, it's just like you said, it sends chills down your spine.
Yeah.
And it really just it's hard to comprehend and fathom at times that, man, I'm and it is even more so like I can pick the phone up and call Billy Joe.
Right.
And Rudy Hubbard. Those guys are friends. They're not just larger than life figures like they are to some of the people. Those guys are actual mentors and friends, and they send me congratulatory texts. And even Coach Riley, man, it was so shocking when he passed this earlier this year because most of the time when I got into the locker room after a big win, Coach Riley was one of the first ones to send a congratulatory text.
Wow.
And so just the way those guys supported me, the way they embraced me, made me a part of that fraternity of pantheon of coaches. Like you talk about a Mount Rushmore of coaches. You can't talk about college football without talking about Jay Gaither.
Right.
You can't talk about it without talking about what Billy Joe did. And then the one who doesn't get the credit he deserves is Rudy Hubbard. Rudy Hubbard's still the only coach at HBCU to win a national championship at the FCS level.
That's still coaching.
And he doesn't get that recognition that he deserves. But just
right.
to say, I can pick those guys' brains and have those guys, support me, it means the world. But when I leave FAMU, whenever the good Lord sees fit, I just want to be viewed as a guy that did it right. That did the right things, that, put FAMU first, put our student athletes first, put the Southside community first, put the city of Tallahassee first. And so, whatever the win-loss column looks like, that's not my concern. But I want them to say that my guys that did great things in life, that they become, influencers in their respective communities, and that they give back to FAMU, because again, it gave them an opportunity to be great. And that's all I care about. That's all I want. Obviously, championships are great. We all play the game to win. Make no mistake about it. You play a game, you expect to win, and you work hard to win every single day. But for us, winning means more than just what the scoreboard says at the end.
Right.
For 48 60 minutes.
Right.
And so, but that's what I want people to remember me for. A guy that really was committed to changing the community around him. And that's why I was so adamant about doing community service and really having that guy be out and be visible and, really making a profound impact on the community that has supported FAMU for over 100 years.
Yeah, and I'm glad you speak on that thing with community, man, because, we working so closely together, with, FAMU and what you got going on, and me, myself, being, an advocate in the community of what I'm doing with, certain foundations like the South City Foundation. And it's an honor to, be alongside with you guys, man, and what we're doing in that whole great work. But as a father, as a husband, as a son, and as a leader in the community, what's the one thing you don't have control of that you wish you did when it comes to our youth?
Well, I'm not going to say I wish I had control over it, because again, I know God has control.
Right.
I only control what I do. That's all. So I got 6 kids, and I don't
right.
believe in them, but I don't even control them.
right.
But if I could say something that I really just wish, man, that we really just value ourselves, and really understand that we can achieve so much if we just committed ourselves to working hard and not looking for the easy way out, the quick fix, the quick money.
Right.
We don't let adversity in life lead us down the wrong path, and that's what we see, man. We go out and we visit with the young people in the community, and we just see so many young people who feel like they don't have any hope.
Right.
They don't see a future, and the only future they can see is turn to the street life.
Right.
Whether that be gang life, whether that be drugs, or whatever the case may be, that's what they feel is their way out. And that's the thing that I wish we could do more to change. And I'm committed to trying to do my best to do that. But that's what hurts my heart, because I grew up in this community. I'm a product of this area.
Right.
And for me to be Big Ben Player of the Year back in 1998, the Big Ben stretches from Gadsden County all the way down to Dallas County.
Absolutely.
And that's a huge area, and there's so many of us that fall between the cracks.
Right.
Because we just don't see what a little bit of hard work and a little bit of sacrifice and commitment would do for us. And so, that's what if I could change anything, that's what it would be. And trying to continue to work with people like yourself and other great leaders in this community to see how we can influence that type of change.
Man, absolutely, man. Perfectly well said too, brother. Now, besides the X's and the O's, what's the one thing other than football that you try to coach your players on?
Just life. Just life. And we have our 7 F's, the 7 words that begin with the letter F that are staples of our program. We tell our guys that those 7 F's don't just apply to football. They're kind of life. And if you apply them to every area of life, you'll be successful. Those 7 things are simply, having faith, having great fundamentals, which basically just means having good habits, being fast. They also have the episodes to follow along being fast, which means having a sense of urgency about yourself, and fighting, and which means overcoming adversity. The life will hit you. You have to live a fight and not give in. Finish. Don't ever start something without seeing it all the way through, and having fun, which is just having a genuine love for everything that you do. And then lastly, being a family. Just having a oneness with the community you're part of, the team you're part of, the work force that you're part of, the job that you're on. I mean, just really embracing people, loving people. And, if you can do those 7 things, man, we feel like, again, success is there in all walks of life. I mean, in your spiritual life, in your academic life, in your athletic life, in your personal life. That's what we talk about, so it's 7 of them. We actually, we break them down by day. So every day, I'll talk to them about another. So today, I'll talk to the team today. We're talking about fun. We're talking about love. Today's Friday. I love our word F for the day is fun. And so, we really just kind of break it down that way to where we can
Right.
talk about those type of things. Because again, to me, it's about much more than football. I shouldn't have to talk so much about football. That's what we do every day.
Right.
We don't talk about plays. We don't talk about execution, but we're going to talk more about the principles of life, the things that it takes to be successful in life. And if we get that across to them, like I said, we may not win every championship. We may not win every game, but my guys will graduate. My guys will obtain jobs. They'll go on to be great fathers, great husbands, great community advocates, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, man. Talking to my coach, the coach of our hometown team, Florida A&M University, head coach Willie Simmons. Coach, let me ask you this. Now, recruiting, is getting serious. Things is happening, and kids is really starting to change their mindsets and a lot of things as far as choosing, the PWIs, the predominantly white institutions. Now, just for you being a product of kind of both, a PWI at the same time you coaching at an HBCU. From your perspective, why should a 5-star athlete choose an HBCU over a PWI?
Well, the reality of it is, when we tell these guys in recruiting, this isn't a 4 or 5 year decision.
Right.
In some cases 3. This is a lifetime decision. For me, whatever the school you choose to attend is a lifetime decision. I'm going to always be associated with Clemson University.
Right.
Until I die, I'm going to be associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whatever school you choose, you're going to be a lifer there. If you see it all the way through.
Right.
And so, really, just looking at a program that can really, again, help propel you for the long haul. So many of these guys, the tunnel vision on just the NFL.
Right.
And not to say that shouldn't be a goal of theirs. Like I tell all the guys, if you have a goal playing in the NFL, I don't want to recruit you anyway.
Right.
That means you want to be the very best at what you do.
Right.
And but that can't be your only goal.
Right.
You have to want to become a great man. And
right.
Set yourself up for a life after football. So, an HBCU, I think, is a unique opportunity for a lot of these guys who their whole life have been tied to a game, and their identity has been tied to what they can do on the football field. It gives them a chance to really come and figure out who they really are. Because again, unfortunately, and again, I attended a PWI, so I'm not going to be hypocritical.
Right.
I had a phenomenal experience there, and I wasn't training for the world. But I wasn't a guy that really needed to go and figure out who I was.
Right.
The very first time I went to college, and somebody said, "Hey, you're a football player." I said, "No, I'm Willie Simmons, and I play football." There's a difference.
Right.
Don't identify me as a football player.
Right.
Identify me as a man
right.
who just happens to play a game of football. And so I didn't have an identity crisis, but I met so many teammates who their identities were tied up in football. So
right.
They weren't starting or they weren't playing a whole bunch or whatever the case may be. It caused them to be different. Their attitude and their mood was tied to what happened on the football field. And that shouldn't be the case.
Right.
So you shouldn't be jealous by that. And so many times guys are PWIs, they are. And so HBCU, again, provides a unique opportunity for a young man to come to really find himself, to really know what his interests are, whether that be Greek life, whether that be another organization, whether that be student government, whatever the case may be, which a lot of times we don't get exposed to those type of things, at PWIs because we're the minority.
Right.
And no one is really coming at us about those things. The normal student, no regular student at Clemson came to me about being in student government.
Right.
They didn't really approach me about being in a fraternity. It was always the athletes that did that. Whereas here at FAMU, you just likely be asked to be a part of the SGA by your classmates.
Right.
As you are a football player. So,
right.
Again, I think, like I was saying, if you're good enough, if you've been blessed with enough talent, if you have a drive and a work ethic, and you're willing to sacrifice to do the things right that it takes to be a professional athlete, chances are you're going to have a chance to make it.
Right.
And guys like Derek Leonard and Tariq Cohen and Karen Armstead, and those guys have shown that. They didn't transfer to A&T and South Carolina State and Arkansas Pine Bluff But if a guy goes to Alabama and he's committed to being the best, he works his butt off, he definitely increases his chances.
Right.
The same can be said about a guy that goes to Alabama State.
Right.
And so that's the mindset that I think the guys got to have. And, we just got to have some guys that are willing to be trendsetters.
Mm-hmm.
Much like a mature maker, the guy that turned down Duke and Kansas and those guys that go to Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Is a trendsetter,
Right.
And so you got to be willing to step out on faith and trust that, you're making a lifetime decision that's going to prepare you for life to a long haul. And I think that FAMU, much like a lot of other HBCUs, can do that, can prepare guys. Because, again, I put our alumni up against any schools in America, as far as the success that they've been able to achieve, athlete and non-athlete for that matter. So, again, we have professional athletes, we have CEOs, we have, people with all types of awards and accolades.
Right. Right. You're right.
Don't think that you cannot achieve your goals by coming to Florida and or any other HBCU. And that's a message to any aspiring athlete or even regular student that's out there listening in, that you can achieve everything in life at FAMU just like you can anywhere else.
Absolutely. Talking to the head man, Willie Simmons of Florida A&M University football team coach. Give my listeners and Rattler Nation out there, what's the news with the groundbreaking of the new stadium and renovations? Like, this thing is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now they're in the planning phases of it. Obviously the funds have been approved, by the city of Tallahassee. We're so grateful for that. It was desperately needed. This was something that we wanted. This was something that
was definitely needed. Yes.
And that was imperative that we attained it. So now that it's been secured, they're in the planning phases now to see exactly the best way to utilize the money. There's some structural things obviously that we have to take care of. There's some things as far as our restrooms and being ADA compliant that we have to take care of. And then once we satisfy those obligations, then we'll look at the aesthetics. Where can we beautify the stadium to make it more appealing, to make it more attractive, and give our fans a better game day experience. So I'm excited to see what it looks like. I'm not in those meetings, so I don't have the blueprint per se to see what goes where, but I've given my input, to my director VP Goshe, and he knows what my desires are. But again, that's the people that make a lot more money than me.
Absolutely.
We're going to allow them to make them, and I'm going to do my part to make sure that we have a football team that's ready to go in and win big whenever we debut our newly renovated Brad Memorial Stadium.
Absolutely, man. And speaking of winning big for this upcoming season, man, y'all, do you feel it's strange to be suiting up during the spring?
Well, I tell you what, I'm ready to suit it up whenever.
Right.
We're going to play some football, man. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, we understand the severity of COVID-19.
Right.
By no means are we taking it for granted. And, we don't want to put anybody at risk, whether it be our players, our coaches, or our fans, or support staff, But, we feel that we've taken the necessary precautions. I commend everyone who had a hand in securing Brad Memorial Stadium as a testing site.
Yes.
That's allowed us to really go, for all intents and purposes, about 3 months now with less than a 1% positivity rate.
Wow.
For our football team. And then you look around, college football right now, that a lot of teams are having outbreaks. I mean, not to call any names, but one of our system schools, has had to cancel a game this weekend.
Wow.
A huge game, because of over 30 cases within the program. And so, we're taking the necessary precautions, and we feel like we did do the right thing to play football to ensure the safety of our young men and, again, everyone involved in the process. And these guys want to play. This is something that they work extremely hard for. And, again, not that football means that much that it's worth putting your physical health over, but it is a way for those guys to be able to go out and do things that better them.
Right.
A lot of them, they use it as motivation. Football is their motivation to go out and do the right things off the field. So many of our guys suffer from challenges with their mental health when they don't have that sense of normalcy.
Yes.
When they're forced to get out of the routine of going to practice or lifting weights or
yes.
shape. I mean, you think about the exercise that the guys are losing because they're not practicing every day. We have some big guys that themselves back into shape.
Right.
It helps with their mental health. It helps with their physical health. It even helps with their academics because, again, just being in that routine,
right,
kind of gets you normal. You know what time you got to get up every morning. You know what time you have weights. You know what time you have to eat. You
right.
know what time the table is. And for us, because you've been an athlete, that helps us. That schedule helps us stay grounded. And now that that's been taken away because of the restrictions of COVID-19, it's placed a lot of our young men in some pretty precarious situations where they're struggling academically, they're struggling financially, they're struggling, mentally, and that breaks my heart because, again, sometimes I feel like we have to do more for these young men, being that we've been forced to take away the thing that kind of keeps it all together for many of them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's definitely a tough subject when dealing with mental health and dealing with, kids have a way of normalcy when they're, dealing with, certain scheduling and how they deal with practice and preparation and school and everything like that. So it can become a huge barrier, I'm sure, with this whole new way of living right now for everyone. When is the first game scheduled of the season for spring?
First game is scheduled for February 20th. So
Okay.
the conference will set basically the date of November 15th for any school to decide to opt out of the spring season. As of right now, we don't have any schools opting out yet. There's been some talks of a couple who may choose to, but they have to November the 15th. And then once that deadline passes, then we'll be able to set a schedule. But the first scheduled date, we don't have an opponent per se yet, but the first scheduled date is February 20th, 2021.
Awesome, man. And you guys are now have made the matriculation over to the SWAC. So officially July of next year. I'm saying, like going into the SWAC of next year. So that's something to definitely be looking forward to. So this particular season, y'all just gonna be pretty much playing certain HBCUs, or y'all gonna still with this MEAC teams, or?
Yeah, we're still part of the MEAC until
Okay.
June 30th.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll play a MEAC schedule this spring.
Gotcha. So
we're vying for a MEAC championship. We're trying to make history. FAMU, one of the things we say is that we're school first.
Okay.
We're trying to be the first team to win 2 conference championships in different conferences in the same year. So we can go out and win the MEAC this spring. The winner of the conference will have an automatic qualifying berth to the playoffs. So that's something that we're looking forward to. And then we'll transition to the Southwest Athletic Conference in July and go in and try to win a conference championship in that conference in year 1. So, they're really going to be MEAC champions and SWAC champions in 2021.
There it is. That would be a remarkable accomplishment, my brother. That can happen, man. Now with no homecoming, no Orange Blossom Classic, no, like the fall here in Tallahassee has just hasn't been the same. Fall is definitely different. Saturdays are different. So knowing how Saturdays are going, how do your Saturdays look nowadays?
Man, that's how to do this, bro. The wife is taking full advantage of me not being playing football on Saturdays, but we're just trying to find ways to enjoy. Again, I'm an eternal optimist.
Right.
I try to find the silver lining and everything, and one of the things that this pandemic has done is allowed me to spend some much needed time with my family. Again, man, I have 3 little kids. I'm in a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a newborn. I have 2 teenage girls. And obviously, people with teenage girls know how that time is.
Yes.
The mood swings and all the things that they go through. And just being able to have me here to help and support my wife during this time, man, has really been a blessing. And I can only imagine what her day-to-day life would be like, trying to take care of a 7-month-old, a 3-year-old who's out there on his bicycle already with those training wheels all up and down the street. You turn around, he's gone. My 5-year-old girl who is just a brainiac who just wants to know everything in the world. Just to be able to help her take some pressure off of her, because again, she was stay-at-home mom and she didn't get the credit she deserves for holding the fort down. And so for me, just to be able to sit here for the last 5 months, 6 months to see what it's like to be in her shoes, and we have to cook dinners and put the kids to bed and read them stories and get them up in the morning and take them to school and
Uh-huh.
Been coaching football. When they wake up in the morning, I'm already gone.
Right.
I get home, they're pretty much already in bed most nights, other than the weekends. So
right.
We've been able to get this much needed time with them has been very, very valuable for me. So, it almost has it for me, man. It looks like I have that sometime in the morning. I'm at home and tidying up around the house, just in case we have, a friend or two over to watch the game.
Right.
Really just, watching, just being a regular fan of football now. I get to watch college football.
Right.
Clemson play. I can watch Florida State play. I can watch, Alabama, Georgia tomorrow. I can do all those things.
Right.
As opposed to, if we weren't in the pandemic, I'd be in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I'd get ready to take on A&T.
Right.
And tomorrow night, I'd be on a bus driving back 12 hours back to Tallahassee. So, just not doing those things, being able to just sit in the confines of my home on my couch and watch football all day long, man.
Right.
And, I'd much rather be playing, don't get me wrong, but
right.
with my family and enjoy some football, just enjoy them playing in the backyard, watching my son ride his bike, all those things have truly been a blessing.
Man, that's cool, man. Shout out to Shay, man. Sis, man, that's big sis. Shout out to the wifey, man, and the Kennys, man, and the newborns, all that good stuff, bro. Got to make sure give big sis some love from little brother. Now, man, for real. Now, we got to let everybody know that the hype behind the Orange Blossom Classic that's going on is real. It's already been set, September 5th, 2021. Jackson State, Florida A&M Orange Blossom Classic is going down Labor Day weekend. Now, we know you ain't say nothing. We're going to go ahead and put this out. He ain't say none of that crap about prime time and all that stuff. So we're putting it out there now, okay? So, but just to, put it out there, man, is there anything particular about this game besides the hype behind Primetime being the coach at Jackson State and you shotgun at FAMU, besides all of that extra hype? What is it more so that you particularly, what's your goal as far as accomplishing? Besides obtaining the win, what do you want to see from the game yourself?
Well, that's our inauguration into the SWAC.
Right.
So for us, it's all about, setting the tone right out the gate. We're going in and make no mistake about it. Our goal is to win the Southwest Athletic Conference.
Right.
And Jackson State is standing in our way. They're one of the first teams standing in our way. They really are the first teams, matter of fact, standing in our way. So that's going to be our focus. Again, I'm a realist. I don't hide behind reality. I know there's going to be a lot of hoopla behind the game, more so behind prime time, because of who he is.
Right.
And how larger than life he is as a personality. So, I know it's going to be a lot of that, a lot of the talk. It's going to be about Dion, about him being the head coach of Jackson. What does it mean for black college football and all these questions that I've been asked a million times already.
Right.
But again, at the end of the day, eventually he's got a coach. He's a football coach.
Right.
And so the camera crews aren't going to be on the sideline.
Right.
He's not going to be mic'd up. It's not going to be a real football game that's going to be played.
Right.
Between two football teams that are trying to start conference play 1-0. And we'll be one of the few teams in America that actually start this season with conference play. Most teams don't. Most teams have some games to kind of, test their bearings and get their feet wet and, work out the kinks before they jump into conference play. We're jumping in fresh out the gate.
Right.
So we got less than a year to make sure that our team is prepared to go in and come out of Miami Gardens 1-0 in SWAC play. And so that's what we're focused on. Again, that's going to be my primary and sole focus, is making sure that our team is ready to play once we step foot in Miami Gardens on September 5th. And we'll utilize that time to do some recruiting. Obviously, South Florida is a hotbed for talent.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to definitely utilize that talent. I know there are a lot of events that surround the Orange Blossom Classic. I won't personally be able to partake in them, as a head coach, but, I know around the nation will.
Oh, yeah.
They'll enjoy their time down in South Florida. And I really just hope that everybody, I hope that we can do it the way that it should be done, which means COVID-19 is gone somewhere.
Right.
That we can get back to a real true sense of normalcy. And if we can do that, and have a great time, really renewing one of the longest, traditional games in black college football, which was the Orange Blossom Classic for a long time. And people to staple in. That's every year, much like they did back in the 70s, 60s, or 70s, and they just put on a show, and so I guess I know a lot of stuff will be around prime time, but again, for us, as those political, for me in my house,
exactly. Exactly. There it is, man. You heard it first from y'all head coach. Rattler Nation, stand up. Your man, head coach Willie Simmons. Coach, tell the people how they can follow you and follow Rattler football, sir.
Well, yeah, man, definitely. You can follow me on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, at HC Willie Simmons. HC is the head coach, Willie Simmons. And like I do a lot more on Twitter, probably than other platforms, but reach out, follow me. If you have any recruits, feel free to shoot them my way. We're always looking for great players. On Facebook, it's Willie R. Simmons, my name. And then FAMU, as far as the program, you can follow us at FAMU Athletic, on Twitter and Instagram. And so we're relaunching our football website on Twitter. We had to shut it down for some technical difficulties, but we're about to relaunch that website. You're pretty sure that page shortly. So we'll get that information out as soon as we do. But right now, you can follow everything football related on FAMU Athletics.
Man, y'all hear right here from your coach. Coach, man, this has been phenomenal. This has been fun. This has been great, man. Coach, I appreciate your time, man.
Man, anytime, brother. We're going way back.
Absolutely. But before I let you go, I gotta get this in, man. I do this with every guest on my show. It's a part of my show I call Would You Rather? And this is a segment where I ask you a series of questions. And you just let me know, would you rather this or would you rather that? Are you ready? All right, here we go. Would you rather win the SWAC 2 times in 10 years with all walk-ons, or for the next 10 years be runner-up SWAC champs with all scholarship players?
Man, you win a championship, you win a championship. So we might win it with all walk-on, man. People don't realize that Vegas Smith, Chad, Hunter, Bishop, Bonnet, a lot of those guys came to FAMU walk-on.
Oh, man.
Now, but those guys walk on to FAMU, so a lot of our starters will be former walk-ons when we take the field. So if I win a championship, I'm going to win it. I don't care if they're walk-on, scholarship, half scholarship. I want to win a championship.
Well, there it is. Here we go. Would you rather ensure overtime or risk losing and win in regulation?
I think it depends on the situation of the game.
Okay.
If you're at home, you have momentum, you got the crowd behind you. I think you take the safe bet, go to overtime because you got the crowd behind you, got momentum.
Right.
The chance you might be playing by your student section where they live and rockers.
Uh-huh.
You're on the road, and you know that they have the momentum. You're in a hostile environment. I mean, you might go for the win. So again, it's a feel. Obviously, it's going to be the right decision. If you win, it's going to be the wrong decision. If you lose, we all know that.
Right.
There's no 100%. You do it this way, 100% you do it the other way.
Right.
It's relative to the situation. So there's times you'll still do both.
Man, there it is. There it is. Now, would you rather, and you played ball and had a opportunity at this, and if you really would have had a longer opportunity in the NFL, would you rather have a long, above average pro playing career, or would you rather have a short, phenomenal coaching career?
Wow. Long pro career or short coaching career? Man, that's a tough one there.
I gave you one. That's what would you rather do to everybody. It make them think.
Man, I would say coaching, just because again you can impact so many more people coaching.
Right.
Touch 100 lives a year on the football field. Whereas playing wise, you can make some financial. Obviously, you can help people financially, but
right.
I would say coaching. I'd say coaching over playing.
Okay. Good call. Now, would you rather in this regard, on the record for being known as the winningest coach at FAMU, or on the record for bringing championships to FAMU?
Championships, definitely. Yeah, definitely championships. I mean, the wins are great, and I think it's always great if you can lead and get things at the top of the win column. But
right.
We play the game to win championships, and so if I win the most championships, which is gonna be hard to do now. Jake Gates set the bar.
Jake set that thing, man. Bro, Jake set that thing, man, across the country.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably gonna be impossible to beat, like 100, but no, I definitely go for the championship.
There it is. And right now, would you rather, right now, looking at how things are, would you rather play Florida State or play Clemson?
Oh man, that's another stuff. I'd say eventually, I'd eventually love to see what would happen if FAMU and Florida State could work it out together.
Boy, that would be so awesome.
But yeah, I think it would be amazing. But right now, today, I'd play Clemson.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want
to, but right. but you'll go at it. Why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, would you rather continue to coach collegiately at the collegiate level, or would you rather earn the chance to coach professionally?
Oh no, collegiate, definitely. I truly have no desire to coach professional football. I love the college game. I love the recruiting aspect. I love developing young men to become men. I don't know if I have the temperament to deal with a guy that makes $10 million a year.
Wow. Gotcha. I feel you on that one, bro. That's real talk on that one. And this is my last question, Coach, and you're off the hot seat. Would you rather beat the brakes off of JSU in the Classic or win homecoming?
Oh, man, shoot, definitely homecoming.
Can't lose homecoming, bro.
That's the family you came to. You can't lose homecoming. And, of course, we definitely going to end it there and tear up a streak this year. So those are the things you can't do.
Right.
Even though we definitely ain't trying to lose in the one spot of fashion, we're going to come out there with a W too, but yeah, you definitely can't. You can't lose a fan.
You can't lose a FAMU homecoming, boy, I'm telling you. Oh, man. So about them homecomings, boy. You coached at the greatest school with the greatest homecoming anywhere in the country. No doubt about it. Ray, man, I appreciate the time, man. I love you, my brother. Continue to keep doing great things, man. I can't wait to continue to keep empowering this community with you, man, and moving forward. And just continue supporting you, man, and you Rattlers, man. I can't hope one day. I hope Greg Ruffin watching this thing, because I got to get this FAMU and Edward Waters thing together. I got to make this happen. I got to get that game going, boy. I'm an advocate for that. I'm going to be rooting for everybody that year. Absolutely. Greg, you here, man. We got to make that thing happen. Coach, I love you, boy. I appreciate your time, man. Have a good night. Kiss the babies for you, boy. And I love y'all, man. Y'all be good.
Love you too, but they better be asleep. So
tell Slick Sis I said what's good, man. I hope she enjoyed the show.
I would, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Holler at you later, bro.
No doubt. Take care.
All right, buddy. You too. That's the man, Coach Willie Simmons, man. I know him as Ray Ray. Listen, I can't wait to get on into it, man. We got all kind of cool stuff, man. Give me some love, some likes, some hearts tonight if y'all have enjoyed that conversation with your head coach of Florida A&M University, man. Willie Simmons, my brother, man. I appreciate you tonight, boy. You have no idea how much I truly, truly do, man. Hey, this has been phenomenal, man. This has been phenomenal. I I'm at a loss of words right now, man. This has been so cool, Doc. Man, Willie Simmons, Ray, man, give it up for my boy, man. Right now, give it up for my dog, man. Please give it up for my boy, man. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, give it up for my boy for real right now. FAMU, y'all got a great one. I'm telling you, man, y'all got a great one. If y'all want to be on the show, man, hit me up. Email me at thefeatured.cj3@gmail.com, man. Contact me, follow me at the featured with CJ3 on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. If you want to be on the show, sponsor the show, advertise on the show, man, hit me up. Send your money to our Cash App. $ Right Touch Sports. Right here on the feature, man. Please, don't let. Oh, man. So excited about what's going on right now. Uh, uh. Well, listen. Okay. I didn't set this up today, and I normally am good about this because it's my song of the night, and this is my favorite part of the night. It's my song of the night. I gotta go to the page at least. But I didn't set up who it is in the show. So, what I'm gonna do, I am going to hold it down for you guys over here on this side and tell you all who my uh, song of the night is. Okay, the song of the night comes from someone from the A. Love this brother to death. This is my song, man. I'm talking about my homeboy Willie Simmons, man. Listen, that's my dude, man. We set this thing off. Me and my boy, wherever we went, no matter where we was together, especially at the clubs, and yes, your coach went to the clubs back in the day in high school and in college. We was a vibe, bro. I'm talking about it didn't matter. We set this thing off. So tonight we gonna set this thing off how we does, cause that's what we does. My boy 2 Chainz with Ty Dolla Sign, Trey Songz, and Janae Aku with It's a Vibe. Let's go.
That's a vibe. She wanna vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe. It's a vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe. Oh, it's a vibe. And that's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe. She wanna vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah. 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 That's a vibe. She wanna vibe. That's a vibe. It's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe. Oh, it's a vibe. Let me slide. Oh, it's a vibe. Yeah. Dim the lights. Oh, it's a vibe. Yeah. Get high. It's a vibe. Oh, it's a vibe. Yeah. It's a vibe. Don't you lie. Your pussy dripping, pussy dripping down your thighs. It's a vibe. Get high. Digging deep while I'm looking in your eyes. Vibe is the realest. I know you feel it. It's a vibe. Different vibe. It's my vibe, nigga. All the bitches like it. Okay, so I got the ambience, that's where I want it. And if you get paid, it's solely based on your performance. My ego is enormous like my crib in California. If you ain't got no heart, man, you're gonna need a donor. Now I said I'm from the corner of the ATL. Well, we got that clientele, avoid paper trails. Broke so many bells down that I'm shell shocked. A hell Glock sold rocks by the mailbox. Got a vibe, make a yellow chick turn the neck. Got a vibe, make a cougar wanna spin a check. Got a vibe, make an Asian wanna bust you. Got a vibe, make Italian want Versace. Carbon copies get declined. I'm the pioneer. Beat that pussy up. I need riot gear. Any volunteers? Gas in a Ziploc. Now that's loud and clear. This one out of here. This is our year. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. Oh, that's a vibe. Yeah, yeah. That's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah, yeah. It's a vibe. Am I your type? Pussy tight, maybe I'll spend the night, yeah, yeah. That's the type, bust it, why? That's the type of shit I like, yeah, yeah. That's the vibe, it's a vibe, that's a vibe. Oh, it's a vibe, yeah, it's a vibe, yeah, yeah.
Tune in. This next week, Friday, next week, October 23rd. The strategic analyst for the Biden-Harris campaign, former Florida senator and former House representative, my boy, my brother, my big brother, Frank Allen Williams, my brother, all day long, man, coming to you on the 23rd of October. Put this in your calendar because this is actually a couple of weeks before Election Day, and y'all might want to hear from this individual, man. Allen Williams, strategic analyst for the Biden-Harris campaign. Listen, we talking real stuff on this show, man. Y'all might want to pay attention to what's going on because everything what's happening for them is coming through him. So y'all might want to pay attention to what's going on this show, man, on the feature that is on October 23rd on the feature. And man, I don't want y'all to miss this, man. I really don't. And I'd be so remiss if I ain't tell y'all about this. You already know what's going on, man. It's going down. My future Feature Fridays guest, November 6th. Y'all see it. Jarrell Webb, personal trainer, trainer to celebrities, businessman, model, will be right here on this show. Tallahassee native, right here, Jarrell Webb, doing his thing, man, with I Train. November 13th, Chief of Police for Tallahassee Police Department, Chief Lawrence Revel. And November 20th, community activist, South City Foundation's director, Tallahassee Peacemaker, First Kingdom Realty owner, Christique Henry. And on December 4th, the show's finale, just talked about this brother with Willie Simmons, college football icon, national champion, Florida State Seminole football legend, Peter Warwick, right here on the featured December 4th, man. Put this shit in your calendar. Hey, pay attention, Doc. Y'all see what's going on, man. We got all kind of cool stuff happening on this show. I hope y'all are starting to understand what the feature is all about. I hope y'all enjoy yourselves. If you are, leave me some comments, some love, some likes, so whatever it is. Just let me know, man. But now it's time for, that's part of my show where it's time for another one of those CJ3s, true stories. And this part of the show is where I really give a true story about the segment of the show as far as the topic or the guest. And tonight's guest, Willie Simmons, man, listen, I got all kinds of stories I can release out on them easily, like true stories and all that good stuff about them. Like, we have a lot. Like, he tell y'all, we really grew up together. We go way back. But this is, I got a couple of stories. They're in splices about Willie, but all of them, they make up who he is, and they make up our friendship, and at the same time, it makes up just not just how I know him, but just how down to earth and how genuine of an individual he really is. Um, I remember in high school, and I was in high school, and he was in high school too, and he was working out. He came out to Rickers. Rickers was doing some summer workouts and whatnot, and he just used to go to different high schools just to go work out with their team, not to scout them, not do that other stuff, but just throw the ball. So I remember him coming over a couple of summers, but one particular practice, I think it was like one of the first times I ever really had a chance to like catch a pass from Willie, because I never really played with him. He played with Shanks, and I was at Rickers. But like I remember it was a 10 and out. Ray, I'll never forget this boy. It was a 10 and out. And soon as I stuck my foot on my 10 and out route and I turned my head around, I'm talking about that ball was there. And I had to literally catch it so quick. So when I caught it, the momentum of the speed of the ball took me. Like, and I fell and did a somersault on the ground. Like the ball was thrown that hard. I was so impressed with that brother's arm strength. It made me catch the ball. I'm talking about literally, let's turn around and and I was off camera. I literally remember that. And a couple other crazy things, man, that took place with that, man. I just remember now. One particular thing we talked about was on the show, and I didn't want to get into it, but I have to talk about it now. That game in 1999, Coors Field, Rickers High School versus Quincy Shanks. I would never forget it. Both of us was ranked top in the Big Bend at that time. This was a district game. We was 1-2. Oh gosh, this was it. And I'm talking about we had Rickers. It was Antonio Carter. It was Devin Rivers. It was Elton Patterson, Steinman Smith, um, Derek Bethel, Baby Bird. We had a team over there. Ed Jenkins. Over there, they had Deontay Fagg, Dakota Fagg. They had just a slew of motherfucking people like Big Greg, man, listen, they had Greg, offensive lineman, All-American offensive lineman, played at the University of Georgia, and Greg Mills, who also coached over there with him at FAM. Listen, man, this was by far this was a game. You hear me? You had on the whole field, including myself, all together, as far as talent, scholarships, all that stuff, they had 8. I know for a fact we had that year, 5, 6 signed that year. Crazy. Crazy. It was crazy. That game was back and forth. Ray throwing touchdowns. AC would throw a touchdown. Derek would throw a touchdown. Or AC running one in. Devin running one in. Willie throwing 2. Oh man, it was by far one of the craziest games ever. I'm talking about it. That game was so good. I had never seen like dudes like just cry after a game. Quincy was crying because they was happy they won, but yet at the same time they know they had to beat us. We was mad and crying because we lost, but yet it was kind of like at the same time it's against Shanks, it's Ray, so we really can't be that pissed. But it's Shanks, but we still wanted to win. But when I say after the game, like I still remember to this day, bro, like where everybody was just on the field, was dapping each other up, hugging each other, like having shakes and just saying great game and just showing that type of camaraderie and sportsmanship. Like, bro, like we literally left everything out there on that field. Like we left everything out there. Our passion, our blood, our sweat, our tears. Like we left all that shit out there. Like it was the type of game that you want to see at a high school level. And I'm talking about, you understand, these are some of the top players in the nation. Ray was ranked number 10 in the country at quarterback. AC, Antonio Carter, shout out to my boy. Happy birthday too, boy. Um, he was like the number 6 overall player in the state of Florida, like completely, like number 6 overall, like number 23 or 24 in the nation at the time. Like, listen, this was some big time stuff, y'all. And I'm telling you, like, even when I played against him in college, when he was in Clemson, I was in North Carolina. Like, oh my gosh, like I remember our freshman year, it was just so crazy to see each other again. He kind of looked like he was still playing for Shanks because they looked just like Clemson. So they had the same colors damn near, same helmets just about. But I just remember that, and just seeing him, and just remembering that moment, and just knowing that we was in another city at the time, another state. We was actually playing in Clemson that year, and it was just such a crazy thing just to see him in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And then now we all everything full circle, coaching and me doing what I've done, and then now it's like we working together, and we're grown up men now, and it's like we both came back to take back our communities. You know, I'm in a field where I'm working literally in the south side of town to make sure that I connect with the businesses and connect with the coaches of universities and people at universities and the residents that live in that particular community. And FAMU sits right there in the backyard of South City. Like South City is the backyard of FAMU. So you got to take care of home. You got to take care of your backyard. And that's why we have joined forces. And now that we're grown, we're older men, we're fathers, you know, he's a husband. um, but yeah, at the same time, you know, we're leaders of this community. We're leaders for, you know, our organizations. We're leaders for our families. And um, we have to take that stand and you know, go out and fight for the things that we love and that we're passionate about. At the same time, um, you know, do what we need to do to 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 make sure we have the right things going on. Hold on for everybody. I'm not even a hold on, but hi, honey. Daddy's gonna have to. Hi, boo. Daddy's gonna call you back. I'm doing the show live. You're on live. Say hi. I said you're on live. Say hi. Daddy's gonna call you back, okay? Okay, I love you. Okay, but I didn't know she was calling. I have to take. Hey, listen. Even on my show, I got to make sure that I take care of my boo. That's what it's all about. That's what this is all about. The perfect example. That wasn't even scripted. That's just perfect example of just having to take back the community, having to make sure that you be a leader for your family. And that's what my brother's doing. He's taking it to another level with coaching, with being a great leader for the football team, for that organization, for FAMU, and for his family, man. And he's just doing it with such grace, such class, and being a leader for the community, man, as we both go spearhead these initiatives and programs to make sure that our community is well taken care of, and they know that they're well loved by myself as well as Coach Willie Simmons. That's my story, and I am sticking with that thing. Yeah, man. If y'all want to be on the show, please hit me up. You know how to holler at me. Hit me up. Email me, thefeatured.cj3@gmail.com, or contact me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Featured with CJ3. Go like me, watch me, subscribe to me every day, because I'm on every day at 9 p.m. on Monday through Friday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Please go subscribe to the show. Please subscribe. You'll be mad at yourself if you don't. Go listen. Yes. But we're going to fade right back in because apparently on that slide, my audio was gone. But it's cool. We're going to keep it moving, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I hope you guys just enjoy life, period, man, for what it's worth. Because I'm going to leave y'all with these four things, man. I ask y'all to stay safe, stay smart, stay clean, wash your hands, wash your face. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch your face, wear your mask, and stay y'all asses home. I love you, man. It ain't too much I can do but tell you just that, because I damn sure love you. And I mean, I love the hell out you. So, hold it down, take care, Bon voyage, all that good old. And I love y'all, man. Willie, thank you, my boy. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for my guest tonight. Thank you, my features. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for all my first timers for tuning in tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it. See y'all next week. Love you. Tune in next week, too.
Name something to get used to. I'm here. I'm here. Be square. You should be happy. You should be happy.